Peace, family. I hope you all are doing well. I am back with a video. I got some hot topics, y'all. I got a lot of downloads, a few dreams, a few things we need to some red flags basically I want to point out to you guys. You know how that go. But I dreamed a hologram last night, and it was actually a really big ghost figure like. So I'm not sure what these people got planned, y'all, and y'all know how my dreams usually are, like, you know, accurate when it comes to these predictions, these futuristic predictions. So let's just be aware if they do try to trick us, you know, with this Jesus Christ return or something like that, you know, because my dream was basically kind of like around that type of energy. Like there's like gonna be like some form of hologram figure in the air over the skies, you feel me? And like I said, these people, they're going to have some type of trick up their sleeve, you feel me, to keep the minds, the majority of the mass minds, under that same, like, psychosis, under that same paradigm, you feel me? So just be aware. I like to let you guys know ahead of time, so if shit does go down or something is off, we pretty much know what's up. So if you do see some type of hologram of a ghost figure, it won't look like a hologram, of course, but a ghost figure or a Jesus character in the sky. I already dreamed it twice. It's my second time dreaming this Jesus character or a hologram or some shit. So hey, just be aware. But what I'm about to show you, I got a whole bunch of shit I'm finna get into, but what I'm finna show you is, it's just like a video to drive my point home. This is in China, and they're already, as you can see, you know, China be on some other shit with the what is it called, the technology. So yeah, this is just what they already doing, you feel me? So just be aware, you feel me? Have your eye open, and yeah, enjoy the video. Peace. Okay, so this was the same night, last night. I also dreamed of or not even last night, my bad. A couple nights ago, I dreamed of, I was holding like a piece of sausage or some shit. And it literally, like, it got like pulled to the truck, like a metal, like there was some type of metal in the fucking meat, y'all. So I went to go do my research, excuse my language, but I went to go do my research, you know, to drive my point home, of course. And then I found it. It popped right up. There's metal, and you know how sausage is technically pork. So it came right up, and I was like, wow, this made so much sense. So I'm not saying you guys still eat that, but if you are, man, just know it ain't what you think.
Alright, look at this port. That magnet is sticking.
Okay, so this is a video that I made. This was a pre-record I did 3 weeks ago, y'all. 3 weeks ago. And I'm gonna zoom in and show y'all. 3 weeks. What I said in this video, why is it happening now? Why are these very same trucks in our neighborhood? Check it out. But this is just it. They say they will ram down homes with children and abruptly snatch them right out of your hands. And I will show you the trucks that when you start seeing these trucks know what they're doing, know what they're looking for. They're scanning, they're skimming, they're looking through the neighborhoods, they're watching because they're waiting for that perfect timing. They will snatch your children right out of your hands and you will not do anything. They will damn near knock you out with their gun. It's that deep. They will shoot you. They will kill you. They will snatch your children. That's all they need, the children. They don't want you. They want the children. They might take some women, is what Spirit is saying. They might use some women, but they need your children. So clear as day, you guys can see this is actually, I got this from a tarot reader that I watch, and someone sent these to her. She said she heard booms, guns, like she go outside and she sees this. I cannot make it up. The ancestors wouldn't lie. Pay close attention to the way our animals act, and I will go into detail with that. All I want to say is remember these animals can see past and through the veil. So pay attention to your animals. This was actually a video that I seen on YouTube, through the shorts. And as you can see, the animals are acting. I said in this video as well to pay attention to our animals because they can see further past. They can see differently from us. So, that is definitely something that I couldn't believe, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, wow. But also, I want to point out something. This is just a little side story. I was actually meditating out in the sun and I began to communicate with the squirrels. They were making squirrels communicate to one another. If you pay attention, they do this really loud noise to call. And I was kind of mocking them, but I was doing a whistle almost. And they did it. They began to communicate with me. I kid you not, y'all. There were two squirrels, and then one of the squirrels that were, they were the loudest of the pack. And then there was the other squirrel in the other tree. So I'm mocking the one who was loud, the loudest one, and then he's responding to me, and he's looking they're looking directly at me, so I know I'm not delusional, you feel me? So it's they're communicating, and I'm kind of playing with them, but they're actually talking to me, and I'm wow, this is a miracle. Animals can really understand us. And then the squirrel that was in the furthest tree, he ended up hopping all the way from where he was and came right in front of me. So it was they were communicating with me on their level, you feel me? It was so beautiful to me, but that was just a little side story. So as you guys can see, the grid is drying up. Everything is drying out by design. Electricity is actually composed of both hydrogen and carbon. So if water is what's keeping and holding everything together, imagine what happens if it dries up. So H2O, or water, is actually Greek for hydrogen, or excuse me, hydrogen is the Greek word for water. So when it comes to what these elements are composed of via hydrogen, it needs that to sustain. So for example, we have the sun, which is a star, a plasmic star. It is actually composed of 75% of all matter, hydrogen that be. So if hydrogen is what is, like I said, within electricity as well as carbon, if it is drying out, that means it is shutting down. It is more so decomposing. So the more that water dries up, it's almost as if the currency of the electricity is dying out. It's dying down. So by everything, pretty much happening now the way that it is, it basically explains itself. If there is no currency, if there's no fluid, then there is no power. There is no electricity. So this is why everything around us is drying out. So right here is just a basic visual, which I'm pretty sure it has inclined by the time you see this, but this is the states and the droughts around the states But like I mentioned before, hydrogen is the most abundant chemical substance of the universe, and it actually is obtaining 75% of all normal matter. So if everything is ran by water, by some form of power source or currency through water, once that dries out, then what? There's no more system, there's no more regulation. So that means it will crumble. Everything is done by purpose or by design, as you know it. So, as mentioned before, I spoke about how this world, the government, the one world government, runs through a currency, a form of system. Many people like to deem it as a matrix, but it's actually some form of algorithm that they have to abide by to basically hold up the system, to keep everything up and intact for as long as they can, obviously. So as you guys know, the money system obviously will crumble, but before the power goes out, of course, the food shortages have to take place. The money, everything has to, the money system is going to fall. Everything is going to crumble. So before this can happen, these people, and I looked up the definition and I will read, it's called a monetary policy. And it's a policy adopted by the authorities of a nation to control either interest rates, payable for short-term borrowing, borrowing by banks for each other to meet their short-term needs. Everything is held together by their needs. Like I said, they want to keep this thing up for as long as possible. But anywho, it's all done to reduce inflation or interest rates, to ensure price stability and stability of nations' currency. So an interest rate it basically affects businesses and consumers. It influences how likely people are, to borrow or to buy. It's basically like the bargain deal. So if you're willing to pay, if you're willing to, give out money versus if you're willing to keep your money. So when things go up, you notice people spend less. So they're going to play this type of game, this tactic to basically get your money via the food shortages. Everyone's going to buy. This is how they're going to collect. And they're trying to sustain, like it says in monetary policy. It's a monetary policy. These people are trying to ensure price stability and stability of a nation's currency. So all of this is done to keep these people print the money, but they're still trying. This is why taxes are here, you guys. This is why inflation is here. All of these different things, they're done to keep us controlled. They need our money.
Your government decided to freeze your bank accounts today. Do you think they might have some power over you tomorrow? Did you know this has already been tested successfully in a first world country this year? What if I told you there were people planning to take complete control of your money and therefore control of your life, your choices, and your future? Some might call you a conspiracy theorist for even thinking it, except it is happening in plain sight. It's just being positioned as something that's good for you. And what if I told you the dominant countries of the world are leading you to believe they are in conflict when they're actually working together for the sake of a one-world monetary system? It's called misdirection. And until you see what's hiding in the hands behind their backs, you will have no choice but to follow along with their agenda. You will own nothing and be happy. And apparently, this refers to your money now. It's not my saying. It's officially published text within the World Economic Forum, a highly inclusive club of billionaires, global policymakers, and heads of central banks, all of which who met in Davos this year to further this reset agenda. This is something I forecasted to our clients a full 10 years before it became public knowledge. Your only way out of this is to be 3 steps ahead, is to play them at their own game and think for yourself and know the central bank's plans before they execute them. This video will show you their plans, one of which is the CBDCs, central bank digital currencies, programmable money that's in full control of those behind the program itself and those that got us into this mess. From automatic taxation to when and where you're allowed to make purchases to the next level of control at the push of a button. Buckle up. And get ready, because we're already on this ride. Coming up.
Wakanda's changed things forever. Now, nothing seems impossible. So how will you share your brilliance with the world?
I put this here, will it work? This center, so the whole thing.
Keep forging your own path.
We still need something.
Keep reaching for what inspires you. And keep shining for everyone to see. Hey, can I see what you're drawing there?
Yeah, this is a work.
All right, y'all see how they got this in the Target advertisement. Now I need y'all to peep game. This is an atom that she drew. And I'm going to break it down why they decided to use this little colored girl to quote unquote draw an atom. These people are advertising something here and I need you to pay attention. And this is also the Wakanda ad. So I'm going to break it down for you.
For an energy source.
Okay, I see you, young genius. After all, you never know where you'll find inspiration.
Bye.
Hey, can I see what you're drawing there?
Yeah, this is a working model for an energy source.
Okay, I see you, young genius.
So do you see now why they used a atom? An atom basically forms the entire universe. Everything is made up of atoms. It's the fundamental building block of a chemical structure. And now, as you can see, this is the exact same logo that Jimmy Neutron, that show, they use that same logo, an atom. Also, the coronavirus, they also depicted that same structure. Also, if you look at the movie Matrix, this machine actually looks like an atom. And then we take today's movies. I'm going to show you. I'm going to break that down as well. Just like everything is composed of matter, everything obtains atoms. So just like matter cannot be created nor destroyed, same with atoms. They cannot be created nor destroyed. Atoms basically, they act as transmitters. Just like you have your neurotransmitters, they act as communication signals. They basically send like waves or electricity, voltages. They communicate to one another. So when atoms, it's basically time for them to dispense from one another. Like I said, they can't be destroyed. Nothing can be destroyed. Matter can't be destroyed. Energy can't be destroyed. They just break down. Just like with energy, you don't die, or it doesn't die, it just transcends. It either grows or it dispenses, you feel me? So the same with atoms here. It only gets broken down into smaller pieces, and like I said, it transcends into another part of, whatever. So take a look here. This is from the actual movie Black Adam. And like I said, these people are talking about you. They're basically mimicking you. With every superhero that you see, they're talking about you. What is it? Dragon Ball Z? They're talking about you. The chakras, the powers, the Super Saiyan, all that is you. So as you can see in this fucking movie, look at the Black Adam on his fucking chest. And then as you can see, The Rock, all he's wearing throughout the entire movie is black. And they also knew how we were basically in cohesion with gold. Our blood, we are gold beings. We are the golden babies. The sun is golden. This is why they did this. This was all a depiction or some form of mockery to basically wave you in front of you. And then if you take a look, they have the fucking rainbow you in the movie. Look at it. So from the black to the gold to the colors to the radiation that he's spewing out, to the energy that he's carrying, the electricity, the fire. These are all gods. We are gods of war. Do you see how they basically place these superpowers over you to basically kind of let you know who you are, but you'll never think that it's you because you'll think, oh, it's in a movie. It could never be. But this is actually you who they are mocking. And these very same heroes or super villains or super, heroes like they deem them as, these people are literally you. The Hulk is green. Melanin is technically green. before it is oxidized. Everything is you. It's about you, your colors, your chakras. Also with the electricity, you carry electricity. Electricity is basically what your atoms, that's how they basically motorize. They motorize through these sparks, through these chemical reactions, to furthermore, like I mentioned earlier, to communicate with one another. So the neurotransmitters via the atoms communicating with one another, those are actually sparks going off, or some form of reaction, which is basically an electricity that is going on within you. This is also why they say when you're hot, you're mad, you're angry, you begin to get very heated up. You are a fire god. We are fire beings. We walk through the sun every day. This is why the sun is the way that it is. It says here, pheomelanin, red and yellow people subject to destruction in as little as 10 minutes in UV light. Who are the red and the yellow people, y'all? They deem themselves as white, but they're actually yellow. These people are dark. Then we have eumelanin, which is inert pigment capable of efficiently absorbing UV photons as they enter the epidermis. So it's another form of melanin. Not to mention, we don't age. This is why golden people, we typically age very well, because our skin is protected. We are basically protected from sun damage. When people age and they get wrinkly, they're being cooked. That's why they look so bad at such a young age. So due to the way that these beings reflect light, they are not exuding it. They are only inhabiting. And when they keep taking in all of this radiation, when in fact they don't obtain any to begin with, their body begins to decompose. Remember, these are inorganic beings. They're not natural to this realm, to this planet. So when the sun begins to cleanse and detoxifies every living organism, they won't be able to sustain. This is why these people are suffering the way that they are. This is why they called you colored, for a reason. You are the rainbow. So when their body begins to break down because they are inhabiting so much radiation, they are actually absorbing too much and it's not dispensing. They are actually dying. And if you guys aren't aware, there's a disease, a deadly skin cancerous disease, which is known as melanoma. These people produce this cancer and other health problems because their body is not breaking down melanin, or plasma, the way that our body is. So for example, us as melanin, we obtain melanin, which is actually protecting us. It actually reduces UV induced DNA damage. As you can see, this is from the same movie, Black Adam, but he's sitting on a hexagon, and that's the same basic shape of a stop sign. But it's also the same thing on a genetic level. See your melanin here, that's the same. These things are called bridging or brackets, and they're used to basically bond things together. So like they use that same depiction in this movie because they're targeting your melanin and who you are on a genetic level. They also use this as a code or some form of like secret occultism to basically communicate the adrenochrome. Just like on the soccer ball, they use these, which is the same hexagon shape. This is the same thing as your adrenochrome. Those are the bondings on your kidneys that they use. Like here in the movie Monsters Inc. This is very much so a code, that they use to target children. They want to keep you in this sleepy state, this very low state of being, so that way you will never wake up and return to your original self. And this is why they, as you can see, the cul-de-sac, that's where they want you kept. And the same thing they put in the Matrix is the same thing they've had in it cut off, but that's the same thing that they had in the movie Black Adam. He's in a sack, in some form of sleepy state. When you're a newborn, you're in a sack, or when you're in your mother's womb, rather, you're in the placenta. So they use weapons against you via education, the schooling, the music, the food, your environment. Everything around you is basically used against you to stay down.